Hey, what's up, everybody? You're tuned in to another episode of the podcast with no name. We did say we was going to try to discuss a name about that tonight, but I kind of like the podcast with no name, so I think I'd keep it to that. But in case you lost right now, welcome to the Non-Bay and the Homemade Heroes Universe channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is PG13, and if you've been following along, we've had discussions on the Sonic the Hedgehog films prior to them coming out and after them coming out, and we had a pre-discussion to the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 film that came out recently. Right now it is down off the page. I will be re-uploading that again soon enough, but this is our after discussion, and when I say our, I have two guests in the studio with me today, so guys, introduce yourselves.
It's Johnny here. You know, you guys heard me last time we were on the podcast with no name. I actually have a name for this tentatively.
All right,
I'll let you listen
discuss
to
it
it
at the end.
Yeah,
we can end with that. And Jesse
and I actually, since this is a Homemade Heroes episode, is the awesome Godfather Jesse Solomon.
Nice,
Godfather.
yeah. But yeah, we are here. We have watched Sonic the Hedgehog 1 when it came out, and now we are back.
We reviewed it twice too.
Yeah, we did. We did a pre-discussion and we did an afterthoughts, and now we are here with the afterthoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And let me just put it out there, guys. My total of watching this film right now is 4 already. I trying to make the high score. I trying to make the high score. I really love the film, so that's what we can get into this discussion
Hold
with.
on, you watched it 4 times.
So far.
When was the last time you watched it?
Wait,
You went to Fusion?
last week? Yes, I went to Fusion and watched this.
Was that with
4
me?
times. No, I actually watched it with Jade. I watched it with Jade on Monday, on Easter Monday.
Oh goodness, this guy. At least you know, like Florida man who watched what?
200 and something.
Right, he broke the record.
It was like
What did he watch?
Spider-Man, No Way
Spider-Man,
Home.
yeah, 270 something times.
Yeah.
270. That means this man has no job, or at least if he does have a job.
Yeah,
disposable income.
Yeah,
Right,
that too.
right.
Just sat there and just
somewhat
watched it.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we here now. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is out. The masses have been watching it, and full disclosure, everybody, this is pure spoilers, alright? It's been enough time. We can be mumbling and talking about stuff anyway, so whenever you feel ready, just give any, talk spoilers. You don't have to hold nothing back. We don't have no section for spoilers, nothing like that. Everything is
You're gonna be
full
spoiled.
spoiler.
Click off the video.
Right,
if
just
you don't
click
wanna be
off right
spoiled.
now if you don't want no spoilers, because this is a full spoiler discussion. So, first things first, general thoughts on the film itself for Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Let me go first because I've been
ahead.
itching for
Yeah,
this.
let's just
See,
go with this
I'm
one.
not like the other guys.
Keep
I'm not
going
gonna
with this one.
spoil. I'm just gonna tiptoe around it.
Yeah, man.
So, I felt that this film was way better than the first film by a long shot. I also felt that this film captured perfectly the essence of Sonic the Hedgehog. And here's my most favorite thing about this film, and I think that other films that are based on properties should do. Definitely the way they adapted the story by only adding elements into the story, but not quite adapting the whole games, Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. I love that. In fact, I was so taken aback by that when I was thinking about how I watched Jujutsu Kaisen, I know this is unrelated, but hear me out.
No, go ahead.
I watched Jujutsu Kaisen.
Let me hear this relation.
Yeah, it wasn't. I hate to say it was a bad film, but I can't say.
This year?
Yeah, Zero.
I haven't seen it yet. Okay.
I can't say it's a good film because it adapted everything 1-to-1, and while that works in an anime format because you're doing weekly by weekly, it doesn't work in film because film doesn't hang on a promise of a new series that comes out. Film is supposed to be something in which you create a story that's either one and done or leading into something else, but that's only if you've been greenlit. Sonic did everything right. Sonic gave you a one and done story, but also one that could be segued into another series, which they're actually doing. My love for this came from Robotnik. Jim Carrey's performance was over the top as usual. In fact, so over the top that I don't think that they can ever replace him. Then there was Knuckles. I didn't expect to love Knuckles this much in a film. I didn't even expect to see Knuckles in the film. Remember, PG, years ago, I was like, I don't want them to do no Sonic and Knuckles. I said, I don't want no Knuckles in my Sonic, and spoiler alert, it ended up with Shadow. I'll say this here, so y'all can put this in a new clip. I don't want that pesky black hedgehog in my film. Who looks exactly like Sonic the Hedgehog by Sonic Adventure 2 standards. Exactly. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, generally.
So, I mean, I don't know if I have a hot take, but I was saying I like one better. But then now that you talk about just capturing the nature, because I think I said this with the first review, where I was like, I like the combination of how they made the character interact with the humans, and then this one, they scaled back on that a lot because they added Tails and Knuckles, so it wasn't like he had to talk to the humans. Like the humans was more so of an afterthought. So in points, it made the humans feel when they were acting like sort of over the top into to where it was like they was trying to be as comedic and they was trying to match the energy of Jim Carrey, who fit, but it was like everybody else just felt out of place. And it was moments I was telling PG, like the end scene with Robotnik turned into the big robot reminded me of Power Rangers 2017 with Rita Repulsa. And that whole scene, like if you go rewatch Power Rangers 2017 and then watch the end scene of something, you can see the similarities. So like the whole setup, and it's like, we gotta make this final stand, and it's all jovial, comical type of thing. But I think it's a nice continuation, and I think after going through so much with one, they decided to have a lot of fun with this one, and that's how it felt overall. And then we have to see where they're gonna go. I think it's gonna be a Sonic 4 though, because it's only so much you could do with tease and shadow at the end, and then it's like you was talking about, you had to bring in Metal Sonic at some point, and then you with the Chaos Emeralds and things like that. So it's like, to book in that story, you can't just do Shadow and that's it.
Right. Yeah, so my general thoughts about it is, I must preface everybody, although you don't have to watch part 1, I would say it would be like, for a non-Sonic fan, it would be suggested to watch the first film, because a lot of things that happened in this film kind of was connected to the first film, like a lot of the jokes, a lot of references made, but it's not a necessity that you watch part 1, because this film does stand on its own, and that's one thing I like about it too. Like you said, like it doesn't really follow the canon of the video games or the comic books. It kind of does its own thing while being loosely based on them, but it definitely works. Like when I went to watch it with Jade last week, that was the first thing that we basically talked about after the film. It's like, we love how they made it its own story, but it still definitely works, you know what I'm saying, while keeping very strong with the games.
Also,
right?
I want to detail something. This is the first time in canon history that you've seen a human use the Chaos Emeralds and turn super. I'm talking about Robotnik. I've always postulated this possibility countless times. My cousin and I, what happens if Robotnik became super? They've never done it. The game's never done it.
Right.
The comic book's never done it.
No.
The anime never done it.
Right.
Nobody has done this before. Robotnik gets the emeralds but never utilizes it.
Right.
The fact that he got a hold of the Master Emerald and actually used his power, which was reminiscent of the Archie comics, by the way, green. Remember the Archie comics when Knuckles turned green from absorbing all the Master Emeralds?
I know, yeah.
It was very much a one-to-one, almost like a reference. I saw many Archie references in this movie, particularly with the Knuckles, Echidna Tribe, and Longclaw, and them going to war, and Inner Jack. You remember Inner Jack from the comics?
Sure.
He was one of those old echidnas that utilized the power of the Master Emerald or an Emerald and became like a super power.
Yeah, I think I remember now. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And
Knuckles did it too.
Yeah,
he just
I
in
remember
red armor.
Knuckles too, right.
This reminded me of that, and seeing Robotnik utilize all that power was like, wow.
Yeah, it's the first time a human canonically use it, because then I guess you could technically say in the games and stuff, he always trying to steal emeralds to honest for his robots or whatever. But yeah, literally seeing a physical being using it, and that was super cool, honestly. But it made him so much more dastardly, and I mean, they did give him like a serious take in like Sonic Adventure 2. He was literally menacing and maniacal in that. I would say Sonic Unleashed too, but in this film, man, he was goofy. As goofy as he was, he still was menacing, just harnessing and channeling that energy, because he realized true power, and he's like, yeah, man, I got this.
Also, there's something that my partner notified me after we came from watching it, because she's a fan of the Sonic movies, and also used to be a fan of Sonic herself.
That's it.
So she said, the Master Emerald feeds off of creativity more so, it turns imagination into power. They said that in the film. Robotnik was the perfect person for that.
Yeah,
hands down. He is the most creative person in the Sonic universe.
Yeah, as you can see from the Death Egg robot, he literally just pull all
Not
the
just
scrap
that,
metals
not
and
even
the
just that,
trains and
like-
stuff like that.
Like even the first scene in the movie where he have this whole like complex module to try to make mushroom juice and things like that. So
Yeah, that was actually really funny.
I,
was
I
like,
love this opening scene. I
right,
love it.
it's like if anybody could do it, like you say, it can be Robotnik showing
guess
off
what?
that smart IQ.
Another thing she pointed out to me was Robotnik's inventions are not ever played for laughs. He always succeeds the first time. He always invents something that works. They always work. The only
Right.
reason they do fail is because of Sonic. They
Right.
always work. Unlike Tails, whose gadgets don't always work.
Right, that's the next thing too. As smart as Tails is,
Exactly.
let's not take nothing from him. But that's
that was a
actually
nice
true.
touch they put in it. It
Yeah,
always works.
I like that about these films too. Talking about Robo, let's talk about Robotnik a little bit more. I like that about these films, literally playing on really how smart he is. Because even sometimes in the games, you don't feel like he too smart. He's like a buffoon, baffling, bumbling idiot sometimes, and he just have that cheesy maniacalness to him in the games. While this have the goofy maniacal, the goofy maniacal Robotnik in this,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, he definitely was always a serious character to deal with. You know what I'm saying? From the first film, like going up against the sergeant, and he was like, "I can shame you, sergeant, because you was an idiot. I smart." You know? And then when he just returned in this film, they had the rain going on and the big poltergeist scene or whatever, and then he just like buzzes off the door, and he's like, "Nigga, I back."
Hey, tell me what y'all liked about that scene, man. 'Cause I love that scene. The poltergeist, the joke landed, especially with the pizza delivery guy. I
Yeah,
felt like that was
yeah.
a little bit of adult humor injected in there, because you know pizza delivery guys are notorious for sleeping with other people's wives.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was like, if this is the pizza guy, this is highly unprofessional.
Real, yeah, that was a really good scene, especially like I say, it was just to introduce him back to Sonic, because it's like Sonic was just good, like everything was all fine and dandy, and they literally set that scene. They did set that scene up perfectly, right? And now Sonic is automatically serious, like, oh, you did the wrong thing coming back here, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, he got his new look and everything. This is the first time Sonic's seen him since, and Sonic immediately recognizing the threat, because he know Robotnik is a threat. They made him that menacing, so kudos to them on that. That was a good job.
did y'all feel like at any point like they was trying to dress Sonic as like a Batman type of character? Like the first
I
scene.
feel like that's a literal question, right? Because
Like
all of that stuff going on.
No,
with-
just like the first
Blue
sequence in the
justice.
film, like justice, and then running around standing on top of the building with the building.
they was playing off
Justice.
of it. They was playing off of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That was actually a
Obviously.
homage to Sonic Adventure 2 when he was on the building. The opening of Sonic Adventure 2 had Sonic and Shadow cross paths
Oh, yeah, there was
against
that
the moon and the backdrop.
Yeah.
That was a direct homage to it. And also, it was a homage to Sonic Adventure when he's standing on top of the building
Yeah.
before confronting Chaos. Now, as to answer your question, I don't think so. I think that in the beginning of the film, Sonic was reading. You know, in Sonic 1, he read a lot of comic books.
Yeah.
So he did come across Batman because he's reading Flash.
Right.
Yeah.
I think in Sonic's mind, because he's still a kid, that's everything.
And what he says at the end, too,
Yeah.
like I give up these powers because I still want to be a kid.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
ground everything in the reality that Sonic is a teenager. He's a kid. So he has these amazing abilities, right? And he's reading comic books all day. What do you think a kid with all these powers would do after reading comic books?
Right.
Exactly
Try to
what he's
emulate,
doing.
right? Emulate.
And Tom's reasoning for him not to do it is because it's not only dangerous, but it's impractical, and it complicates things more so than saves things. So I don't think that they tried to do that. I thought that they were actually critiquing that. They were doing that. They were separating Sonic from what's the difference between him being the Flash? Well, he's not the Flash.
Just
He's
like
a
that.
kid.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, Batman popular anyway, so it's like,
Yeah.
you can just go and ride on the coattails of that or something like that. You
Yeah,
know?
because for me just looking at it, it was like the whole woven into the New York City streets. Because Gotham and Spider-Man's world is based on New York City, so
Yeah.
you always have these big traffic scenes with the cars going through traffic. So I was like, I like that. But
the funny thing about that is it was in Seattle, across the map,
Yeah,
right?
I was supposed to say that, like the Seattle,
It was
man.
in Seattle, and they just kind of paint that picture. But the thing is, moving on to the next one, I guess, even though we don't run out. But the thing about that is that was kind of a foreshadowing too, because as soon as Seattle came on the screen, do you know that I realized I was like, Supersonic in this film. because there was a basketball team called the Seattle Supersonics, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's clever what they did. They literally foreshadowed Supersonic by putting him in that
Seattle.
bank robbery scene at the beginning in Seattle, because he could have been in New York. Easy. It should have been New York, honestly.
I also felt that it was reminiscent of Sonic Adventure 2 when you escape the city escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. It may not have been as elaborate, but it pretty much was a homage to that chase scene.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that Sonic chase scene because it's done better than the first game with the Orca. Now you have a truck. Truck Coon. Truck Coon can't kill Sonic. No isekai for you, Hedgehog.
Yeah, so that was a good call out. That was a good foreshadow. This film had a couple of foreshadow moments too,
Including the
when
end.
yeah,
Wink.
including the end, wink, wink. Especially like when he fell over in the boat, when he was fishing with Tom. That was the foreshadowing of saying, "Hey, Sonic can't swim. We telling y'all right here that he can't swim." And there was numerous scenes in the film where it's like, "Wait, water again, dog." Like, like water was definitely his sub enemy in this film. Like it was Robotnik and then water versus Sonic,
But he
which was a
conquered
good
it.
play to the games and everything too, because that was very good. They presented all of that. Like this film, like you say, this film was really, really good and spot on, baby, because all of the intricate details across all of the Sonic media. Like you say, you see some touch of the comics there, you seen some touch of the anime, some touch of the games. They did their work. I'm really proud of them for this film.
I have a question, guys.
Go ahead.
Tell me you guys know about Chris Chan.
Chris Jen.
That name sounds familiar.
It does.
Chris
sound
Chan
familiar.
is the inventor of
Oh, Chris-
Sonic Chu. I'm not going to go into a spiel about him because he's gotten in some really bad legal issues, and
Yeah.
I don't want to really promote the guy. But I'm just saying that I felt like one of the characters, the other deputy, was supposed to be a slight
Reference to him.
reference to that guy, especially with the line of, "Oh, soon I'll have a woman who's not my mom in my basement." Like that felt so much like
A
a
nod.
poke at the guy, but that was just it. That one moment.
Maybe it could've
Other than
been.
that, I do like the memes. This movie is memeable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's memeable.
Yeah, it is memeable. As was the last one, honestly.
Like
But this-
Robotnik
yeah.
just zzz, zzz, zzz.
Yeah, that was memeable. And then wiggle your digits. Wait, that line was killing me when I first saw it. I was like, wiggle your digits. I was like, something about this line is just so funny. Yeah, there's a couple of meme references. So we've been praising it a lot so far. What you have any dislikes about it? Some things that you
I
didn't like?
have a big question.
Go ahead.
So, do you think moving forward they need to incorporate the humans in here?
Yeah.
They gonna have to if they go in the Sonic Adventure route.
Because it's like more and more you making the humans more irrelevant. Because I don't feel like that emotional scene where they got stomped at the end sort of stick. It don't stick for me. Like, yes, we're gonna die as a family, but y'all been sort of MIA most of the film.
You think there was MAA? No, man. They played equal share in the heroes.
Not as much as one.
I have
No,
yeah,
not as much as one. But this one they had to do a back burner because they needed to focus on Tails, Sonic, and Knuckles.
Right.
But the humans played a very integral part, especially with the whole theme of Sonic not feeling like he fits in anywhere. But at the end of the day, he got a family. He got a dad, a mom, and he got friends.
Friends.
I think Tails is going to be his brother.
Right, yeah.
I think they're going to adopt Tails. I think they may have adopted all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I know
Adoptables.
I did say the dislikes would be out, but that was one of my strongest likes of the film too. Just the camaraderie between Tails and Sonic. First of all, like they
was
really
perfect.
they captured the old cartoons really nicely
Yeah.
because that's just how Tails used to be. He really looked up to Sonic, big fanboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely a big fanboy, and it was really, really nice to see their relationship and even the relationship between Knuckles and Sonic when it was enemies at first. Oh, he punched him out. I really
Listen,
loved the action
Knuckles
between
beat
that.
Sonic every time.
He beat his
Every
ass every
time.
mate.
But Justin,
Every
to
time.
answer your question, there's at least one thing I dislike. I didn't like the Siberian part of the movie. I know, but it's funny because people actually like that one, but I didn't because I felt like it slowed the film down a lot. But I do know the purpose behind it. The purpose behind that scene was to get Sonic and Tails alone in an environment that's alien, so that they can connect with each other,
Exactly.
and so that they can grow their friendship organically. It worked. Maybe I'll watch a third time and I like it.
No,
but
because I
came
watched
off
it four
cringe.
times. I watched it 4 times, and rolling off that same point, it was literally. I don't know if these developers have some type of hard on for like a flicking grungy hardcore bar type of scene where they going, because in the first one it was the same goddamn thing in the motorcycle area, and I was like, oh, it's Siberian Lounge. Oh, it's very hard. You know, they're saying all these grungy people, and it's like, oh man, this again, babe. They
It's a
doing this for
common
filler again, bro.
If they-
that was one scene that they could have taken.
Listen,
out of that
if they do
film,
this a
bro.
third time with Knuckles, I know they're doing this on
They
purpose.
have to be doing this. I felt like this was on purpose.
But the funniest part of that scene, though, while I dislike it, was homie who danced, who had his self tattooed on his chest.
This is so funny.
Every scene in the film was funny. It's just I just didn't like that one, but that doesn't mean it was bad.
It
in
wasn't bad.
totality.
It actually wasn't bad for real because it was funny because that from that part of the scene, I like the grandma with the little skull and crossbones. That was funny, and then the fish was like run.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. So it was a good scene. I wish it didn't do a dance number because it's like, oh damn, every film have to have a dance number. But kids like dancing, so I guess. That's
It
how
works.
it works
It's
for
a kid's
kids,
film.
right? It works for the kids. You gotta always remember that too, that it's still always a kids film. But I'm like,
to sell
jeez,
merch.
bro. Right, to sell some merch or something. And I'm like, geez, bro, this what y'all gonna do for filler? Like, do something like let him run around or something for filler.
I mean,
Actually, I have a question about that too. Because I was like, is Knuckles have some form of speed?
He's
Because
fast.
I was like, I would like to see Knuckles glide a little bit more.
Yeah, he didn't do a lot of gliding. He did some gliding, but he didn't do enough.
he glided twice in the
Right,
film.
literally twice.
But he is, at least in the games, he's almost as fast as Sonic.
Well, 3 times.
3 times. I think the third time was near the end.
Yeah.
But Knuckles' speed, he has a cap. He gets tired faster than Sonic does, and also
Right.
it's not as fast as Sonic. That's
Right.
why he couldn't even catch up to the car.
Right.
Sonic would have been ahead of that car
way ahead
yesterday.
of the car. And speaking of speed, back to the Siberian scene. Well, in general, I wish that this film kind of played on Sonic speed a lot more because they
Yeah,
did it
that-
a lot in the first film.
Yeah, they did.
In a lot of instances, and they did a couple of scenes in this film where they played it, but specifically in the Siberian lounge scene, it was like the map's on the table, and I'm like, this is what Sonic's about. He could have literally just dashed and grabbed the map. Like, but I understand, like, when I watched it with JD, it's like, you know, they just gotta make it drawn out to, you know, make it seems like it can be too easy if you do that. And I like, yeah, that's technically true, but it's Sonic, bro. He could go and he could have yacked that map like several times in that
It would
scene.
have been boring too if he did that.
I guess so. That's what
get
he.
the
Yeah,
map
that's
and
just what Jade is saying. It's like, yeah, you make it a little bit more interesting, raise the stakes,
And
have the
also-
token dance scene in there.
Yeah, also-
Uptown Funk.
The guy with his tattoo.
Right.
We would have never gotten that.
You would have gotten that epic shot of the guy with the tattoo on his chest.
What about you, Justin?
Or whatever.
I mean, to me, I'd still like 1 better just because it's like it's just fresh and new, and like I said, like the emotional things stood out for me, like, you know, just interaction, and it sort of hit a little bit home in certain parts. I think I made like 2 better once I see 3, because then it's like, okay, well, you need this.
That's a
to
simple
get
thing.
there. Yeah.
I'll like 2 better when 3 comes out.
No, but that's me with a lot of movies. Like,
I gotcha.
I watch, like, especially when it's like a trilogy. It's like, I'm gonna be cool on this movie here, but it's like, okay, I see why.
Oh, you definitely like 2 more when they trash 3 because of freaking Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
That's why you could like
Get
2
him
more.
out. I ain't gonna lie. If they put a gun in this guy's hand, I'm walking out. I'm walking out.
I'm telling you, that's
If he
what they
says
do.
down,
Wade.
I'm walking out.
That's just what they do.
I have a feeling that they're not going to adapt that. They're going to take parts of his history from the infamous Shadow the Hedgehog game. Oh God!
No, but see,
2005 was a
I can
horrible
keep-
time.
The funny thing is, I should actually invite Jade here. I think I might do another one of these just with Jade specifically. I don't know, but what he did mention after that film was he kind of understands the Shadow thing because Shadow technically is an agent of Gun, right? So I'm like, you know what? From that limelight, I guess.
And not
he
just
is
that.
an agent.
He's one of the most massively popular characters.
And he said that
Yeah,
same thing
yeah.
too. The exact same thing. It's like Shadow's a public character, so you know that he's gonna run that way. And I'm like,
Like,
damn it. Damn.
but listen, my theory is what they're gonna do for Shadow, why they're gonna make it work, and also include characters like Amy later on, is because
Yeah,
they're only
Amy
going
and
to.
Rogue.
Yeah, Amy should have been the next character.
Rogue gotta be in part.
But I'll explain in a bit why
Rouge.
Amy could not work right now. It has everything to do with the lore and why Shadow does work. So what they're going to do is they're going to adapt 3 things: the prophecy of Supersonic fighting something, because it's not. I don't know if they're going to introduce chaos. I hope not. God, I hope not. They're going to adapt that as the template of how Shadow's created. They're also going to adapt some history from Shadow, from the Shadow the Hedgehog game, and incorporate him being an agent of Gun. And they're definitely going to use Sonic Adventure 2. full throttle. But why they're not introducing Amy is because you have to explore the lore of why there are no hedgehogs. There are lots of echidnas. Well, used to be. Longclaw kind of did a number on them.
Yeah.
There's owls, but also the echidnas kind of did a number on those guys. And then there's no hedgehogs. Where are the hedgehogs?
Yeah.
Amy coming in will have to explain why they're hedgehogs. And they do a really tight job of keeping the lore contained as them being extraterrestrials.
Yeah. And in terms of the law, actually, going on the point of, I kind of like how they still tied in and described the law, like as every character was introduced. They showed Sonic remembering Longclaw from the first film. I like how they tied in the first film with each of the characters, right? That's why I'm saying you could still watch this film independently, because they still touch on keynotes in the first film anyway. And so they touch on Longclaw and Sonic's relationship and how he misses her. And then when Tails was introduced and telling Sonic, hey, I was just watching you, the EMP that you did, you know, you called that actually in the first discussion. Remember, it's like, how would Tails know? And he was like, maybe, you know, he was world renowned, like university renowned. And,
I called it.
Yeah, you did call it. He was like Tails having gadgets and all that stuff. So I kind of like how they introduced Tails with that. And then I kind of like how they introduced Knuckles. And I call this kind of specifically, I was like, what if one of those echidnas was Knuckles? Or maybe he was with that tribe. Remember I said that in the first discussion. I was
unfortunately, you're right. But you were wrong in that he wasn't there.
He wasn't there specifically, right. But I was like, Knuckles had to been one of them, or that was his people, right? And yeah, so I like how they introduced that and actually put a backstory to the echidnas.
But listen, I have a question for both of y'all. Do you know that emeralds give people power, or beings power, right? And you can see the glow in the eyes followed by electricity.
Yeah.
Sonic and Knuckles both have a glow in their eyes when they activate their powers.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is the reason behind that?
I think I saw that. I thought it was just part of, you know, sometimes when people do animation, they want to make it more grandiose.
Yeah, I was
So
going
they
to say,
add
it
certain
sounded like it just seemed like a designer choice, honestly. Just to make it seem like, oh, power, the electricity is flowing through, just to show it.
Yeah, it's almost like.
But the Master Emerald scene and the fact that Knuckles did not have that power when he was young, they didn't show him displaying it at all. None of the echidnas.
That's true.
And Knuckles gave one line to Sonic. He's trained his whole life. You're undisciplined. You do not deserve this power. They've alluded that Sonic has a particular power that's different from everyone else from the first movie. It feels like a game sometimes. And in the second film, they both did this, but they don't say what.
It's power speed. Cliche.
Where does it come from?
Maybe they can get into that, but when I
guess.
say it's like a designer choice, I don't know if you ever watch, like, you watch One Piece?
Of course, man.
Okay, so you know Luffy and Kaido's first fight, and like how that was animated, and it was just like Dragon Ball Z, and it was like you know, it just was awesome to look at, but it was like, y'all didn't need to do this, but we understand why y'all had to do it,
Because
just to make it more epic.
I took it literal. Anything that happens in One Piece is literal.
yeah, in the context of where I could understand that from, too, when you mention anime, when you think about Dragon Ball Z for real, the earlier fight scenes was a little bit more detailed. You could see the choreography, and then they got lazy and they was like flash, 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 flash,
So, yeah, like,
and that was it. So I get it from that standpoint.
Maybe Demon Slayer would be a better adjacent to it, because they don't actually do fire and stuff. That's just thematic.
Right,
It's
right.
demons that do. But this film is different, like these two films, because the power is literal. You can see electricity, and Robotnik did have that too. Glowing in the eyes, electricity coming out somewhere.
Yeah.
And I thought originally that both of the characters had emeralds in them, and then I see the emeralds come out, the Master Emerald. I'm like, so where are their powers coming from? Why did they want Sonic? Why is Sonic sought after?
Yeah,
food for thought.
One specific thing I disliked about this film, right? The one thing that will cost me give this film a 0 out of 10 is no Sonic restaurant reference. They slipped up on it once again. That pissed me off. I was like, come on. This is
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden again with Olive Garden guy. Oh my God. I was like, bruh.
No, that's why I told you.
Nigga named Sonic.
No, that's why I told you, similar to like Power Rangers 2017.
Right, Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Family, cancel my Olive Garden. Speaking about that, talking about now a more real dislike.
Product placement.
I think not the product placement. Honestly, I think that whole scene, with the Siberian scene and the wedding scene, they could have deleted that wedding scene, bro. I feel like that was. I like that they gave, like you say, the human characters something to do, especially Maddie and Rachel. it was pretty good. And the thing is, the scenes that I hate still funny, which means I like it, right?
Yeah.
It still was funny because it was like your boy Randall. He got his interaction with Tom was funny. That first interaction, that was
the slap in the face. I was
that
breaking
was
a laugh.
hilarious. And then at the wedding, it was hilarious because Tom answering the phone and Rachel like, I tell you I was gonna end you, and you looking to get beat. And then him slipping on the ice and all of that stuff. Like that whole thing was funny, but I feel like it was like unnecessary. Just something to give the human characters more to do. Because if that wasn't in there, he was gonna have a lot of human interaction at all.
Hey, listen, I didn't tell you. Sonic is also black comedy. Sonic became a black comedy in that one particular stretch, and it was weird, and it worked.
I don't want to say this. I mean, it did still feel kind of soap opera-y too, even though there was a soap opera guy acting as the drone. And it was really cool that it was a big catfish wedding though.
Yeah, no, that was weird to me because it was like
it was funny.
Y'all setting it up. I'm a secret agent. Oh, you're a secret agent. Like
it's a priest being a secret agent. See, it was those little touches that was like, ha 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 ha. Real talk, babe. So yeah, babe. But moving right along, like in terms of this film, let's talk about the direct comparison to the first film. So let's talk about direct comparisons. And to start it off with, I would like to say, oh, watch out. I like to say, like the first film, it did set up the story nice. And this film, what we both noticed while we was watching it, John, was it felt more like he was playing a video game. That was one thing I definitely liked about this game. It had basically ice cap zone, labyrinth zone when they was running through the maze. That was a really cool part. Probably my favorite part of the scene. Whole film, I think.
I felt the same way too. Like coming out of the film, I felt like I played a video game, a good one, a good Sonic video game for once. And I haven't felt this way with Sonic in a long time. Maybe since Sonic in the Lost World, which PG notoriously hates. That game is great. What about you, Justin? How'd you feel about?
I mean, comparison. Like I say, I think after the success of one, like they wanted to have fun with two, so it was like, let's get more into the video game. After we saw that what works and don't work, it's like let's just give people more of what they want. So okay, we're gonna have the nice fights, the super dope animation, the powers and things like that. That's why I was like, until probably they say started going into lore of okay, they get their powers from something, I wouldn't think too heavy into it because it's like they did. I feel like on the surface level, they just try to make stuff that just eye caption all the time, and then obviously people take screen grabs of Knuckles crashing, and he have this red electricity around him, and then they speeding up and things like that. So yeah, like I say, I'm probably gonna like 2 more when I see 3.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, when they start adding Shadow in.
And you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, like, on that topic though, I am still on the ground when I say that they're empowered by something. The quill has power in it.
Yeah, the quill itself has power in it.
The quill actually has power, and you could use it to empower.
You want to find that actual source, right?
Yeah. So what if they maybe something where they're reanimated chaos controller or something?
Could be.
You know what? I'm not going to put it past them, but it's a kids movie, so it's probably going to be something where Sonic felt a vat of magical chaos.
Right, the power is within ourselves all along.
Yeah, it's friendship.
Right.
Sonic's like, what is this? Sonic, it was friendship.
All along. You didn't know, but your bond was so strong across the universe you met before you even met.
Or they was born out of chaos to bring order or some trope like that.
Or chaos is their mothers.
Yeah, Sonic was literally born.
But it was like the prophecy children or something.
I just gonna say, now that I really thinking about that in depth, that's really going too deep, because now Sonic did have it from since he was baby. That's like, where is his parents and all that stuff. You're like, we'd have to be going down the big rabbit hole to figure out where the origin is from that.
But that makes for an interesting story, and that actually keeps people engaged. If you give everybody the cards on the table and say, okay, this is why I got my hand, you're not going to be intrigued anymore. But if you give people just this,
right, what
they're doing is they're setting up pieces for characters to be introduced, and I think they're going to do an endgame type final film. Like, I believe this.
Well, so do you think that there's just gonna be multiple films, like editing a start end with 3?
There's a Knuckles spin-off coming out.
That's what I was just gonna say. You know what I think they can do? They, like you say, they set all this up for the other spin-offs to happen. The spin-off's probably gonna tell a lot of the story.
Another movie.
It's
No,
a
they have
movie.
two.
It's 2 movies coming out. It's Sonic 3, which is happening,
right.
and Knuckles. And if
I
Shadow
think Knuckles
works,
is a film. I think Knuckles is a film. I think it's a
no,
series.
there's a Sonic. There's a Knuckles film. There's
Oh
a
yeah,
Sonic.
on Netflix.
No. It's they're gonna
Paramount,
release it. Yeah, there's gonna be a Knuckles film.
I didn't know that was a film. I thought that was a series.
Then there's going to be another
Sonic Prime.
there's Sonic 3. Sonic Prime is unrelated, but I do think that Shadow is going. Of course, he's going to kick off. People love Shadow. There's probably going to be a Shadow spin-off, and I won't. I hate to say this. I won't even mind because it's going to be fun. It's Shadow. He's going to do dark stuff.
I mean, in all fairness, I respect them for taking that route because it's the successful route. Marvel been doing it, it's working for them. Netflix doing it, working for Netflix on them.
Amy
so
Rose spin-off.
it's a successful route, so I could understand why they would take that route. You know,
Yo, I know I said Amy Rose 3 or 4 times today, but I think Amy Rose coming out in the 5th or 4th film is going to work really good because
yeah, it should.
it's going to be comedic humor with Sonic getting a girl to have a crush on him and he's running from her, but I believe they should introduce Metal in that same film.
They should because they was introduced the same time.
And I think it'll go like this. Amy also has some type of power in her, I don't know what.
Oh, thankfully, I thought you were going to
Something.
say he had a crush on Metal because I
And
was
then-
like, what type of weird man for...
Right, Robotnik uses Metal to masquerade as Sonic, and I think it's going to be smarter this time. Instead of him looking like actual metal Sonic, he's going to first look like Sonic. Similar to what they did in the original Archie comic, and as things tear away, you realize he's metal Sonic.
Or they could use Sonic Heroes Metal Sonic where he's able to copy abilities and just morph into things.
Yo,
So that would be perfect.
but then I'd feel like chaos, and I don't want chaos in these films.
I would
don't
prefer
think he
Chaos
works.
over the Bio-Lizard. Speaking of how we going into Shadow.
You know what? I could see the Bio-Lizard working.
No, the Bio-Lizard didn't even work in its game. In its own game.
But
It was
guess
literally
what?
just like, we need a boss, a sub-end boss.
But if you're trusting these guys who've done 2 successful Sonic films, they can make.
No, let's sit down and just let that seep in, babe.
Yeah.
2 successful Sonic films, babe.
This is
You didn't
5th.
think we was going to see that?
This is the 5th highest grossing film right now in 2022.
Bruh.
That's what I'm saying. You know, they gonna keep on doing it to make more money and make it be eye catching.
Sonic come out swinging, bro. You didn't think we was going to be seeing this in
Actually,
the year
nothing's
of our Lord and Savior 2022, bro.
No, but you were saying, Justin?
No, I was saying that's why I think after they mastered 1, they just was like, wait, we can just keep on doing this and doing this. So that's why my point, I gonna think the human part's gonna be more and more of a back burner because you don't really need them no more.
Right. I agree. And I would just love to see
Like,
more of the characters.
You. Okay, I agree with you. I fully agree with you, but I do believe that the human characters are there for one thing and one thing only: to be the human element to drive the characters back somewhere, a place to go home, a place
To save, right,
to
and all that
return.
stuff,
Yeah,
right.
something. Sonic already cements these people as his adopted parents.
Mm-hmm.
They're that dad, mom. These now give Sonic new stakes and
Mm-hmm.
new challenges. I don't want them to be damsels. I do want them to have
That's what they're gonna be though.
if they were going to be that, they would have been that.
Right, because Tom was really... He had hands in this film, but I ain't gonna-
Yeah.
and he had hands last film too, but
He helped save the world. He helped save Sonic. And that final stand, I felt that. Like I felt that family issue. Like like some places, some movies, they'd be like, "Yeah, we're family." I'm not talking about Fast and Furious, and they say this, guys. So don't think about it.
Even though
You know
they're
what
coming
they
out
say.
with a new one.
Yeah, we're family. I don't feel like they're family. I feel like you just got this riff-raff off the road, forced him to drive your car, almost kill himself, and then now he's in your family. And also, you don't kill him.
right.
It's like, I'm not sure. Am I supposed to be driving or being shot by you? Both.
Really?
Are you family or what?
Speaking of video games, though, going back to that point where this felt like a video game, to me, this kind of actually felt like a mashup between Legend of Zelda meets Sonic. Because it was like, you need the map to find the compass, and the compass to find the Master Emerald. I was like, look at this quest going on.
Master Emerald to find
Is
the
this-
new map.
Right? Is this guy Link?
Yo, I was discussing this last night too. I was saying, they could do a Nintendo if they were smart. They would scrap Mario and do a Zelda movie. This is perfect. It writes
Actually,
itself.
speaking of Mario movie, when is that coming up?
November supposed to be? End of this year.
I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic about it.
I'm cautiously optimistic about it too, but these Sonic films give this Mario film a run for its money, bro.
Yeah.
Nintendo ain't one come off stepping.
What if they
This-
do a big grand crossover like the multiverse?
I think they would do that.
I eventually want a Smash Bros. Film, honestly. But
Yeah, but I want a Mega Man film before anything.
Me too. I've been saying that too.
Like,
It could be CG. It could be like 3D
Fully.
animation.
Fully.
Yeah.
because if they do it realistically,
look nice.
they might have Michael Cera as like,
Ah, flick.
Mega Man. You just imagine it. Hey guys,
I could
I'm a
feel.
pew-pew.
I could feel Michael Cera being Mega Man. But another thing about this game being like video game, I think they really did the supersonic scene very good because that literally felt like supersonic. You just get to the point. Hey, I'm powerful now. I supersonic. You can't touch me.
yeah, there's no threat.
Right. And they did it perfect because that's just how I feel like supersonic in the games.
And they gave him a new power. They gave the emeralds a new power, the power to create things into reality.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that. How he summoned the chili cheese though.
When he did that, I was like, "Oh shoot, he about to Kamehameha this nigga!"
Yeah.
I see the chili cheese. I was like, "What?"
Like no, because that was funny. He was like, "This is not the Sonic that you once knew."
and he's like, "Oh shoot, yeah, he about to off them chili cheese dog." I was like, "What?"
And then he just
He
like,
summoned the next one and hit Knuckles in this case.
Right.
It's like, well, this
It
is the
is
Sonic.
right?
and that makes me think, like getting that power, like what triggers the emeralds? Because he couldn't get the Master Emerald to work, but he definitely got the Chaos Emeralds to work. And I was just thinking about that, what triggered it? But I was just thinking maybe it was his genuine feelings of being with his family that triggered it, and why he would never have gone down the path Robotnik took. Because he's not a narcissist, he's not egotistical. He's just an impatient, rambunctious kid who wants to see the best of everybody.
I guess. And I guess in the game they did have where you could channel negative and positive energy in the Chaos Emerald, so that might have been what it was.
Also, no ring time limit.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing about these films that I was thinking of. I was like, how are they gonna fully incorporate rings into these films? Because, as a collectible, and I understand with certain mediums like this, when you just have to watch, you can't really incorporate stuff like that. But I would want to see them incorporate rings a little bit more. Like even in this film, he lost all his rings on the cliff in the snow, and he never had to use rings again, apparently.
Well, they did use rings.
And now he ain't using them as sparingly as possible because he's just like, here, Tom, use this ring to come back home. When in the first one, it was like, no, baby, I need these rings, baby. You can't be using this. And he's like, use this, come back home.
Yeah, that part, where did they get the rings from? That's the one little hiccup, but I'll excuse it because pacing, editing, you can't show every little thing. And the film was already long enough. It was longer than I expected it to be.
Because that Siberian part and the wedding scene. And the wedding scene. Because I'm like, come on, bruh.
But the wedding scene did do one good thing, though. It showed Sonic fighting his fear of water. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was good.
He just was like pedaling on top of the water, and it showed him facing that fear. He did fail, but, he still kept going forward. And that's the one thing that this movie did do well.
Great.
It showed that failure is not the end. Failure is just the beginning.
Yeah, almost like a small coming of age type thing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Got some new friends to boot.
I definitely need Sonic to grow up in the next one, though, because I kind of tired of him being referred to as a child now. I think they should.
So you think it's going to be like a time skip?
Could be. Should be.
But Shadow is already like fully developed.
Right, and that's the thing, because Knuckles should just be a couple years older than Sonic in this if we go in by canon, which he doesn't seem. He sounds like he's fully developed and an adult.
He's about I'd say he's probably about a year or two older than Sonic most, because he seemed like he was older in the flashback, and Sonic was much younger. But I don't think they're gonna do a time skip. Reason is Sega refuses to age Sonic. Sonic has been 15 to 16 for years in the canon, no matter how much time has passed. So
but in these films, he ain't 15 and 16. He like 10.
10.
No, and in this film, he's a teenager. He's
13.
He's a teen. He's not a kid. He's a teen. It's Tails who's a kid, and Knuckles is a teen too. He's just one of those kids in your class who had a full-grown beard, talk with a baritone voice, chest full of hair and rippling muscles, but he swears he's 13.
Oh, they are stairs. Oh, they are stairs. Ah, man.
Everyone had one of those in their class.
That was me actually.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's what
It was literally me in grade 7. I remember like I was in grade 7 and then in grade 12s were mad. They was legit mad at me. They was like, "Boy, why you got a mustache and beard, boy?"
That's why I used to shave
They
it.
was hot like I mean yeah, I guess so. They was hot like a 6 way. They was like this little nigga.
Peach was buying Phillips since he was 12.
And then my voice was dropping right in grade 7 too. But people was like, "Bro, this dude sound like a man."
Yeah, but Knuckles' voice did fit his physique too.
It did.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
And they made him like bulky, but not like Sonic Boom bulky.
Right.
But, like
It made him
it
like
worked.
broad chest, bigger arms.
And they played on it too. They was like, "Hey, I am much more heavy than Sonic because I have 1,000,000 more muscle mass when Tails acts."
like
percent muscle.
Yeah, I'm 1,000,000% muscle.
I like the whole like rapid dash homage they did when they I don't know which is it Sonic Heroes where like
All three of them were
linked like like the tails would be
Heroes.
flat.
Yes,
yeah, he hung on Heroes.
They did that Sonic Heroes references at the end in the fight. That
Yeah.
was really good.
So like
yes, definitely I saw that.
Go ahead.
that like when it was like, oh, you could get the rapid dash, and then like Sonic was hanging on Tails and then throwing him, and I like that part.
I can't wait to get my Blu-ray for this, babe, because I can be watching that. I saw that too, and I was like, "Babe, that was cool, babe." They really squad up on him. You know what I'm saying? And going back to fights too. The one thing I really like is the temple fight. I think that's my favorite scene. The temple fight between him and Knuckles, and when they was just punching up each other, Knuckles trying to hit him, land a hit, and he finally lands a hit. I like how Sonic used the homing attack a few times in that too. In that fight, that was really clever. That was really cool. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Also the drop. Which one? The bounce drop? What is it called in Sonic
well,
Adventure 2?
It was the bounce drop, but that was technically the homing attack apparently. That's what that was supposed to be, the homing attack, which makes sense. It makes sense as all too, honestly, in my opinion.
It could have been both because
Right.
he
And he
was
just-
homing back in, but also it could have been the bounce.
Because it was going straight down.
Maybe the
with it.
homing attack. No, maybe the bounce, the drop bounce, is a homing attack. We just
A
keep aiming
version
to the
of.
ground.
I guess so. And it was kind of funny. It was actually kind of funny, even though it was really simple. Like how he's just like, Knuckles, Robotnik just taking advantage of you. He's trying to steal the emerald. And Knuckles is like, "Don't think you can just turn around." Knuckles is like, "He's stealing the emerald."
Idris really did a good job with voicing Knuckles too.
Yeah, but hey, give him that for
Yeah,
real. But
he did sound like a warrior.
Yeah, he did sound like warrior. He still had that little twang of the English accent in it, but it worked. It definitely worked, and that's a very good. I don't want him in the games now. Now Sega, we don't want
No,
that
that's
in the
probably
games.
that's probably
Put
gonna
it-
happen, bro.
No.
Actually,
no.
would y'all? Well, two things. Do y'all think because of this success, there's gonna be a new Sonic game coming in there?
You said this in the film when we watch it. We really would like to have a video game based on the film.
Yeah, I would like an adaptation, but there
Yeah.
is a new Sonic game coming out, Sonic Frontiers. That should
Yeah.
be coming out at least sometime by the end of this year or next year.
I think next year.
And that's going to be open world. I don't think that the films affect the way Sonic games are developed in any way, because the first movie did not affect Sonic, but it did affect the phone game, the apps.
You're right.
Sonic
Dash?
Dash. It's the movie version is still in that game
Yeah,
to be played
yeah.
with, but I don't think it's gonna do that. They still have a dedicated voice actor base that they pull from.
Right
There's at least only one voice actress who was from the game
in the film.
and she did Tails.
Colleen,
They're
right.
not gonna kind of do that. It just is too expensive for that, and also it works to exist in its own. Now, who's gonna voice Shadow?
Yeah, that's the next thing.
That's a good-
Maybe Ben
yeah.
Schwartz.
No, I don't want them to do that because
You think so?
Shadow is voiced by someone different in the games too, and Shadow is older. He is the oldest 16-year-old because they still report that Shadow is supposed to be like aside Sonic in age, but he's 50, so he's a
Right.
50-year-old, 16-year-old hedgehog.
Yeah, but I like you say, I would like a tie-in the game. It don't even have to be long. It could be like an hour tops.
Yeah,
I would love it.
no, hour tops. No man, I want at least
Full adventure. A
Christian
full-
Whitehead, who did Sonic Mania, to do like a spin-off. The exact same graphics
2D?
I've seen in the ending. Yeah, you know how the ending did?
Oh,
where
yeah, that's a good
they had
style.
like a montage of the scenes, but in like the game, if they did it like that, with the exact same levels and layouts, it would be fun. I know it's going to be fun.
Well, how do y'all feel about Tails using the laser gun?
That's
He
cool.
did-
That
No,
was sort of.
that makes sense. To me, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
he did it before. He did
Yeah.
it. There was an early Game Gear game where Tails frequently use just bombs and machinery.
Yeah, he have a bunch of trinkets, so that's cool enough as long as he don't use an actual Glock or Uzi.
Yeah, like a certain hedgehog.
Like it's just like
Take this. Right?
But yo,
Oh, that was funny. No, speaking of that, sorry, I just right before that, the one part about the wedding scene, that was the funniest part of the wedding scene.
yeah, dude's gonna get murdered.
I guess it's real.
But listen, Chaos Control was featured in this movie.
Yeah.
That this should have ring me off that they were gonna use Shadow at some point, but the fact that Robotnik's been using Chaos Control effortlessly.
No, yeah, that as soon as it happened, when he first used it, I was like, Chaos Control, and then I saw all the Sonic Adventure 2 helicopter and gun. I was like, no.
Yo,
It should have ringed you off for real.
y'all remember in Sonic Adventure 2 when Sonic used Chaos Control without an emerald?
Yeah, with the fake emerald.
Yeah. How? That's what I was thinking about
Because
that.
remember, Dale said it has the exact properties of a real Chaos Emerald. It's just fake.
So then it's real.
Right?
No, it's exactly like it, but it's not like it. So it's a clone? Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's
it's
real.
meat, but it's horse meat.
Still
So
meat. You know? But the next question, though, that I have, just my final question about the emeralds. The Master Emeralds back together. How much power do you think guys think it has? Like,
when they reform back into the Master
because
Emerald,
it's still a threat. They're still protecting it. How much power do you think this thing holds?
unlimited power, like they always say. Unlimited. It would be decent. It would honestly be decent.
Probably reality bending or something like that.
Yeah, super reality bending. It would be honestly decent if they bring the Super Emeralds in Part 3. I know they ain't do it, but it would be super decent.
We don't know what they'll do because I didn't expect Shadow to be the ending.
Well,
of this
right.
one.
Now that they're doing that, I want to see them use individual Chaos Emeralds more. You know, they're saying like maybe a hunt for the Emeralds. I hope they do a hunt for the Emeralds.
I thought
inside
the Emeralds was going to split up after it broke apart too.
Yeah.
They did.
They
went-
kind of did. He's
Not talking about like going there and like
just like the
that's
Dragon
all
Ball
over,
Z.
yeah.
That's too derivative. Remember, in most cases, the emeralds go back to the special zones. So I
Yeah.
hope that they have to go into a
special
specific zone or
That
a
would
planet.
be deep. Well, now that we're getting into this end game discussion,
Because he
this
said,
end-
Robotnik said multiverse. Remember that.
and the director did say he kind of feel like doing it multiverse. So yeah, now that we winding down end discussion, let's give our predictions for Part 3. And we was kind of talking about it straight through this whole thing, but let's give some concrete predictions. I really want to see who they pick to play Maria. Honestly, you know,
I want
Maria.
to see Rogue.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Rouge too. Yeah, she's gonna. Yeah, they have to have. If not, that'd be a fail.
I don't want to see Rouge in this.
I want to. Why you don't want to?
She's too sexualized. They have to do something with the design, tone it
I
down.
think they might tone it. They could tone it down. They could like they. You know what they could do? They could use like a hero's design, right? Where it's almost looking like a little bit more mechanical. So they can make like her body parts like mechanical stuff, like she in like a armored tech.
If they do Rouge, it would work. I could see it working if she
Story
comes-
wise, it does work.
Yeah, she comes looking for the emerald, but they have to show why. And
Mm-hmm.
when she meets Robotnik, he'll be like, I know where there's an emerald. And a little blue hedgehog happens to have
Same
it.
thing. Well, I think it would work more so with her from the point of having to be a secret agent studying Shadow, because that's what she was in the game. So that was her introduction.
Yeah, that
I
would
think it
work.
would work both ways, honestly, because she might be feeding the sauce of the master, feeling the Master Emerald sauce, and she might fight Knuckles for that, and then still doing undercover work on.
Hear me out.
Knuckles,
The secret
Shadow.
Sorry, not to cut you off.
No.
My apologies.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, I just had a shower thought. The reason Rouge worked in the games is because everything took place in the human world. Somehow animals evolved and humans evolved. Humans just wore clothes. But in this world, this universe, animals are certain extraterrestrials that favorite that particular species are from different planets. And I think with Rouge, it would work out in the way in which Rouge is surveilling emeralds or sources of power and whatnot, and maybe she heard of Project Shadow somewhat years ago, but it's hard. It's really hard to clock how it's going to work because this is secret. This is a human project, and no, I can't say that because they hid the Master Emerald on planet Earth with humans, so,
Right.
which means at some point humans and whatever these creatures are interacted at some point. So maybe Rouge could be following that trail, and she found it. It's here.
That could be a thing. In terms of more predictions for Part 3, we could definitely need to have Robotnik's granddad in terms of the story. I want to see what they do with the space colony arc, because that was a part of the storyline. Because they did already mention arc. I want to see. I actually want to see more of Agent Stone. And one thing about Agent Stone, that dude really clean, babe. Like he clean, but I respect that. But he looks so. I know makeup and thing is like the least important for him because it's so easy, but he really looked decent every time. And at the end, he kind of was taking off the mask like I still here. So maybe he might be a little bit more of a threat in part 3.
I like him as
he
a
might just revive Robotnik. He might do something to revive Robotnik. Maybe he might get a robot Robotnik this time.
You know what? That could work.
That
It
makes
worked in
sense.
Sonic, Archie comics. Robotnik did die, but his brain patterns were always a clone of himself in a computer body. That would work. That would work, except Shadow. We need a physical Robotnik to interact with Shadow, to trick Shadow into doing tomfoolery.
Yeah, I just hope it don't get Michael Bay-ish.
I mean, I must maybe where it's going because just
Super epic game.
Yeah, super epic. Yeah, they running through the streets, Super Dragon Ball Z, cracking Kratos, like
Kratos is.
That's what I liked about Sonic going like Super Sonic. Like he didn't give this long contrived dialogue. Yeah,
Right?
you did this to my family and friends. You disgraced this planet. Like he just is like,
vengeance shall be mine.
yeah. He just is like, all right, let me cut off the top. Yeah, Sonic, you just said that, and then he was like,
And then
he
the little
didn't.
foot tap.
Yeah, like everything was quick work,
Right?
So
Robotnik, it's like that, huh? Apparently
like,
that
so
was
not friends?
that was a 06 Sonic reference. Apparently,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was looking up references because I was trying to clock every reference I knew. And
It's a lot of references in
yeah,
this
and I
film.
clocked most of them except the foot tap. I just thought the foot tap was, how Sonic is waiting and he just taps his foot during the idle animation, but no, it's actually from 06, and I would not have known that because I didn't play that game. I purposefully did not play that game.
Good work. Don't play 06.
It's trash.
Yes.
There are actually
definitely.
fans are rebuilding the game and making it work.
Yeah. I heard about that. Project 06, right?
Just remove that female human out of there and the kiss, the Final
Man.
Fantasy looking gal.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm Gucci.
But yeah, like I say, I want to see who they pick as Maria Robotnik. Maybe I don't know if they even gonna have Maria Robotnik. They really need to. She's an integral part of Shadow's story.
Zendaya.
You know what's so funny? Like we laughed about it, but then like my brain was like, you know what? She doing everything else. She might as well be Maria Robotnik too.
but they have her all over Hollywood. Bro.
Yeah, but they might. Yes, and there you go. There you go. Casting right there. We done all work for y'all.
I'm sure there's or the gal who play 11 in
I know you talking.
Stranger
in
Things.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could.
No, babe, she don't look like Maria Robotnik, babe.
All she need to do is act. Jim Carrey didn't look like a Robotnik.
He was
But he worked.
Yeah.
You know who the
definitely
work as
worked.
Robotnik though? What's his name?
Only other person I think is Robin Williams, bro.
Yes, Robin Williams. Holy, I forgot Robin Williams. He would have worked. He would have been perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, he would have been perfect.
There's
He
no
would've been
other
perfect.
comedians right now with that amount of flavor who can pull a character as zany as Robotnik.
Real.
Maybe except Adam Sandler.
Not, come on now.
Or maybe Seth Rogen. Who knows?
Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong in the Mario film. A big hit.
I really can't wait to see the Mario film. Though.
I really can't
people
wait for
been
that.
trashing it, and I'm like, you won't even see
Right?
What you going off the film that came out in like in the 90s or something like that?
Right.
Yeah, like-
But best believe I be in super hard bias on this because I be like Sonic had 2 good films. I go in there being extra judgmental.
No,
honestly.
I don't want it to fail. The reason is
I don't want it to fail.
we need more.
But I can be that judgmental. That much
video
want
game.
Yeah, we need more video game, character-driven movies coming out. They've already expunged everything from comics. We need video games now, and I'm not talking about Uncharted, Tomb Raider, Doom. None
You
of
seen the
those
new
guys.
Halo series?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ain't seen
it was
that.
actually pretty
It's
good.
good.
Yeah, I gotta sit down and watch it. I came across it that day.
I really thinking
Saw a
like
clip.
how they gonna really go about doing a Mario film though.
That's what I
I
don't know.
really trying to think what they going with that.
Yeah,
dude.
because Chris Pratt, if you don't sound stereotypically Italian, I don't know if I can watch that,
And that's the thing that yeah, but I don't know what they could do, but
bro. It's a me,
I think,
Mario.
I think they should just to be safe follow the Super Mario 64 route.
Yeah.
You just do that.
Or they could use Odyssey, some aspects of Odyssey.
Yeah.
Then you could really have Mario in a realistic setting. But I don't want no
Right.
cartoon-looking human next to realistic-looking humans. That's gonna look weird. Fully CGI, please.
So the Mario movie won't be CG? Like,
Yeah, CG.
CG.
Full CG, I think.
Yeah.
So
Supposed to be.
everything is CG.
I think it's supposed to be full
humans.
CG. I don't think no.
I'm just saying, I don't want to see that. It look weird, though.
Like this
Yeah.
short 3-foot human plumber next to like full-size humans.
Talking in some stereotypical Italian accent, and then like a
And
real
they don't-
Italian's like, dude, stop.
So but yeah, I don't know what they can do, but I don't know if the timeline even still. We're gonna have to see by summer when they have all their mass conferences. They might say something about it then. But I think the timeline still is the end of this year.
Interesting.
We haven't seen a trailer at all.
No trailer. They did make mention of it in their last direct, I think, or a couple of directs back, saying, "Yeah, man, we still got this going on or whatever." And then when they did the big cast reveal, so I was like, okay, they look like they doing something, but
Something.
we can see. What if it does end up where it's Mario versus Sonic in the Olympics? As an
I
actual
would
film.
love that, actually.
You think that would be
love
good as a film?
Yeah, if there's no humans, no real humans, it's
Yeah.
just them. But I will say this, guys, Nintendo's known for quality control, especially since they have not made a film in years, especially when the original Mario film was... Is that even Mario? What is that? What was that? But especially since that era, that's before Nintendo was really big anyway, so
Yeah.
excuse them, but they're very good at quality control. They don't let no fans touch their games. They don't let no outsiders touch their games. I don't think they'll let a movie theater touch their game unless they approve of it.
Well, hopes start being good. Hopes start being good. That's all I could say with
Fingers
that.
crossed for Ocarina of Time film.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Legend. If that's successful, that's why I really want that to be successful, so they could feel comfortable in making other films, and they could definitely branch out to Zelda.
Because
Wind Waker would be a good film.
I think they should do that actually instead of a live action.
Yeah.
what a lot of people starting to do. I know WB did this with DC. Give everybody their own studio.
Multiverse. Oh yeah.
No, like let people so Sega and Nintendo might have their own like just movie division that just does all their film instead of giving the source material to something else. Like let's just produce our own thing and then go from there.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I say, predictions done. We want to see more rings. We want to see more Knuckles. We want to see more Sonic, Tails.
Amy.
See what Amy
Rouge.
does inside, right? Rouge. See what Shadow does inside the third film.
Yo.
Some more Chaos Emeralds, some more power.
Low-key, Sonic Heroes is an underrated like video game.
No, it's bad.
Actually, I really enjoyed
I know he's gonna
Sonic.
say this. I know he's gonna say
really
it.
did too.
No,
I didn't.
I played.
I
you
don't
you
play
don't
it
realize
right
how
now.
much I played Sonic Heroes. I really loved it. I loved the lore, the levels, the music. I loved the team mechanic. It worked, and it also reintroduced the Chaotix. Yo, these guys haven't been in a Sonic game since Sonic
Knuckles
30.
Chaotix,
yeah,
right.
Sonic Chaotix in the 32X.
Yeah.
These guys have been cameo. These guys have been in comics. But they haven't been in the game in a long time, and this reintroduced these guys to the Sonic universe. And not just that, it gave each character in the Sonic world something to do. It reintroduced Big too. Remember, Big was not used for a good while.
Yeah.
Big comes back now. He's with Cream and all these
Amy.
other funny characters.
And that's what I liked about the different games. I played as every character just to see like what they do.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, here's the Sonic 3 being a good film. I very hopeful it's gonna be a good film. After Sega doubled down on 2 good films, they can't mess it up now. They don't know what happens when they mess up. They will get bullied.
Listen, guys, Sega's making a comeback, especially with Sonic. This feels like the 90s all over again.
Indeed. So this
Sega's
is a
doing
good
what Nintendo.
resurgence. This is a good resurgence. So that's been that, and we have reached the end of the episode. So tell me what you was thinking about at the top of the episode in terms of the name, eh? You still got that thought?
Yeah. I call
wrote it down.
What name?
Nomad Topics.
No mad topics.
Yeah, because we're always drifting and we're not quite sure what we're talking about.
We can think about that. That actually
mad
sounds potential.
topics.
No mad topics. MAD.
No, the nomad,
Yeah,
like
Oh,
Wonder
nomad.
Woman.
Oh yeah.
Like no real home, nomad
we
topics.
we should round it around and name nomad. Not topics, but nomad something.
I wish we could use non-playable characters again.
Real dread. That was perfect.
I really wish
I mean,
we
they
used
ain't
that.
using it no more, but
like,
let's
who
just leave
used
that. We kind of initially started non-playable characters
We should get it back.
with Mars and Rush. I mean, he ain't like no copyright nothing.
Yeah,
like
we
that.
really should. Well,
We could try
to make everything-
And then they did a part 2.
yeah.
Hold on. So who's non-playable characters?
So it was me, John, Maz, and Roger, and we came together to make about 10 episodes, a
Okay.
Yeah.
series of podcasts just talking about random miscellaneous entertainment
It was
stuff.
supposed to be about comics and games,
Right.
and then it
Right.
became
It was more
entertainment miscellaneous
yeah,
stuff
entertainment
about
miscellaneous, and then it
relationships.
just it disintegrated, and then after it disintegrated, about a few years after, probably like a year or two ago, they kind of re-emerged it with
Maz.
Maz and Roger, and then
Okay.
they brought on Whitney and I think Keishel.
Okay.
I don't think they still do episodes now.
Nah. So we'll just probably.
So we probably just go use the game. Because I remember in that first episode, they was like, "Hey, John and PG was a part of this, but that's cool. They didn't even ask us if they were going to use it."
yeah.
Right? So now we just gonna do the same thing back.
I think what we could do just to make it so that no hard feelings. Just tell them, hey guys, we with your blessings, we want to revive it.
Because you're right, it ain't no hard feelings. It wasn't even no hard feelings when they did it again. I didn't feel no
No,
big deal about
but
it.
it'd be nice if we could revive it because it was perfect.
It was a
and
good name, yeah.
We could stay on
Nice.
topic now. No controversial. No. Is Amy a feminist character? Yes. So, Rouge,
all right.
Is she problematic or is she really woke?
So between non-playable characters and putting nomad in there, so I'm like, oh, we can figure that out. We can figure that out.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, this has been the after discussion on Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Once again, cheers to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. We looking. One thing we didn't discuss. When do you think it's coming out? Just a quick.
Next 2 years.
Yeah, 2025.
2025? Yeah, that seemed like the timeline. And one more thing we didn't discuss. Rating. Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 film
It's okay.
rating.
I do the same thing.
7.
Same. 7.
10. I could be biased. Like, okay, 9.5. 9.
It was a
But
7.
It up there for me. Definitely over part 1. It beats part 1.
I mean, I say it's a 7 because it wasn't a masterpiece of a film, but also was not bad. It was.
At all.
It's rewatchable. It's serviceable, but it's not giving me 8 or 9 vibes. Batman for me was a
Batman for me
solid
was a
9.
10.
Yeah, it was like that was a masterful
Yeah.
film because the slow burn. And
Real. It
Yeah,
was a 10.
that was a 9 out of 10 for me. I barely give 10 out of 10 films.
Well, leaving it up to me, 10 out of 10 anyway. But anyway, this has been the podcast with no name, pending. Because now we have something coming up. But yep, until next time, please like, subscribe, everything that the algorithm wants you to do and whatever. I don't like to mention, but do it anyway. This has been the Homemade Heroes Universe, the non-Bay channel. We'll be back some other time with another discussion. Until then, keep safe, everybody. Enjoy yourselves, and yeah, peace out.
Yeah,
Caw-caw.
Listen.